introduce him. He's working experience from the IT industry is 23 years now. He has worked as various roles from varying to developer to the functional consultant, and today he's a practice head of SAP division. Academically, if you see, his master in technology, biochemical engineering, bachelor of pharmacist, MD alternative medicine, diploma in project management, diploma in advanced computing, and the list goes on. And currently, he's pursuing his PhD in the weight loss management, and he is very active in terms of, he has written a very beautiful book. He's author of that book Dyttitude, which is available on Amazon. You can definitely grab a copy. You can follow him on YouTube channel. With this, I hand it over to Raghavji. Raghavji, over to you. The stage is yours.
Namaste, very good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Am I audible? Let me check. Yeah, thank you so much. So, thanks for taking your time on Sunday, and really, you all people who are very serious about, really keen about how to go ahead to prevent our back pain in our future. So, in this session, we will be covering how the structure of our backbone, how this actually back pain originates, what is the reason of back pain. Then we'll go for what are the key remedies which we should take before going to doctor, and at what stage we should go to doctor, and also we'll also go through the asanas and their intricacies, that how this particular asana can actually help us to get rid of back pain, and what are the principles behind it. Principles are very important because you may forget asanas, but at the same time, if you remember the principles, you will not forget the actions which are to be done. So coming to very preliminary physiology, or what you can say osteology of it, you can see this particular chart, right? And you can see that in this chart, the backbone is actually consists of a kind of 32 different vertebrae, and we have seen this in detail for specifically for cervical one, the top one at last, and further there are 12 thoracic are there, then there are 5 lumbar vertebrae are there, and there are some 6 sacrum and coccyx. So the last one, and you will find these vertebrae, they are coupled with each other. These vertebrae, they are coupled with each other, and when they are coupled, they are not coupled like back to back with their the structure, hard structure. There is a cushion in between that, and that is known as IVD, or intervertebral disc. See, this intervertebral disc, you'll find that this is fitting between the two vertebrae. Where the disc is at this position, and it is extended towards the cartilage everywhere else. Now the major challenge comes when particularly this particular disc is damaged. That is the key one root of backache. Now this could be damaged with a jerk, with a jolt, or with a jumping, or when we do a kind of extra strenuous exercise, too much of enthusiastic exercise, or yoga even, this particular disc will get damaged. See, the structurally, this particular portion where there is, you can see the white space, this is a dorsal vertebra, cervical vertebra, and this white space is a vacuole through which the spinal cord passes. And this spinal cord, when it passes, it has a cerebrospinal fluid. It is a fluidy structure but surrounded by definitely a thick structure, so that our cerebrospinal fluid, which actually connects from our skull or from our vacuoles in our brain, that continues downwards. So complicated structure, but it suffices for jumping, for walking, for running, or for the sake of every action that turns, whirls, rotate our backbone. Now you can see this particular backbone, where the vertebra is a one unit and the spinal cord is going inside it, it also actually gives rise in between nerves, and these have the complete pairs of nerves from top to bottom are there. So you can see that, for example, I'll show you the how the nerve structure. So many nerves are there, and see, the nerves are from every portion of it, and even if one nerve is pressed or one nerve is actually a kind of, what you can say, a damage, or it is pressed vigorously, it causes a backache. So that is the first reason, that and this nerve, whenever there is a neuronal pain, the backache is heavy. Neuronal pains, they are much more sharp than muscular pain. Muscular pain, they may be intermittent whenever that particular part of the muscle is stretched, but the neuronal pains, they are sharp, and that's why sometimes the backache is unmanageable. So you will find that when the backache start, for say for example sciatica, the sciatic nerve which is coming from this portion, this will be damaged, or particularly because of this degeneration of disc which is connected to sciatica, or spondylosis, the degeneration of the disc, or the kind of abrasion of that particular disc, which leads to spondylosis. So you will find these kind of challenges which comes, and ultimately there are, it is divided into many different kinds of disease, what we say it as a abrasive disease, or the disease which cause problems in actually managing our complete posture. These ultimately ends in huge backache. So backache is actually a symptom that body gives to our manifestation mechanism, so that we should take rest. So you will find, if there is a challenge, so for example in the thoracic vertebra, the 12 T1 to T12 vertebra, if there is a challenge, then you will find the backache is towards the thoracic cavity, or towards the, particularly at the back of the thoracic cavity, that will be you will be seeing it. And if from L1 to L5, that is a lumbar 1 to lumbar 5, if there is a challenge, specifically these kind of challenges occur when you miss a step, or you are not attentive, and you will find that you jump, and that causes a disturbance in our intervertebral disc, and that causes a problem. So you can see that sometimes uneven protrusion of the disc out of, particularly the intervertebral disc, when it comes out of those vertebrae, and unknowingly it touches some other structure, and that causes pressing of nerves, pressing of some other structure, and which causes actually again a damage. Again you are continuously doing it. See, the body has its own mechanism. Every organ of a body has a mechanism to sustain itself almost 5 times than its own capacity. And that is given, God gifted, or what you can say, that we got it from our mom and dad, that 5 times we can sustain that particular pain. And if we are not able to sustain that particular pain, ultimately it manifests, it gives you the symptoms that something is wrong, and we have to take rest. The first remedy is always to take rest. Coming to the sacral vertebra, which is below, actually they are the fused vertebra. You will find that there is a huge chunk of nerves are there, which is coming out of it, and all those nerves, because after sacrum the vertebral column is not there, and only nervous system is there, which goes, this particular nerve goes to the end of the tip of the toe of your legs, and as a result of it, this is the major area from where the nerves, they go out and actually touch to your, even the end of your toe. So you will find that this particularly, the whole bunch of nerves, the whole vertebral column is also connected with muscles. Okay, there are also rounded by muscles, thoracic muscle, and this complicated structure is managed in such a way that it is not a structure like a stick, but it has been made like a stick, okay, by our body, by our gene, as well as it is flexible. What is exactly we say in IT? It is uh, it is loosely coupled and tightly integrated. That is what we say in IT. So it is loosely coupled and tightly integrated. Believe me, the such system to prepare itself, it will take probably thousands of years to prepare one backbone. Now let's go to a structure of it. See there, this particular disc. Let's concentrate on this particular disc, intervertebral disc. There are 7 layers in this disc, and these 7 layers are made up of different kind of substances, which are the annular substances, and these are all fibrous substances. There are definitely collagen. There are fibrous substances which actually absorbs the shock. Every shock, even if I am moving, there is a shock to our intervertebral disc, and this shock is being absorbed by these 7 layers. And inside that 7 layer there is a fluffy kind of layer, which again a big shock absorber. It is known as a nucleus pulposus. So this particularly 7 layers and the inner layer, which gives you a kind of cushion to your every moment of your vertebral column. And apart from this, whenever there is a challenge, say challenge can be physical challenge can be even osmotic pressure, because this nucleus pulposus, which is inside this disc, center part of the disc, it has around 430 to 450 mm of pressure, Hg of pressure, osmotic pressure it has. And if this pressure also increases, then also causes problem. So you will find biaxial moment, tension moment, shear moment, or uniaxial compression, or this particularly the disc is responsible for sustaining all such different kinds of moments. And hence you can imagine that how very very well we should manage particularly this disc. Otherwise this disc is given as a god gift, and uh, and if this is not managed properly, it leads to disease. Okay, so what is how you should determine what is the strength of your backbone, or what you can say that your backbone is healthy. How to determine it, right? As a yogic sciences, you will find that the processes of analysis or detection, they're generally not given somewhere, but you will find over the period of time, when you will perform your yoga continuously, you'll find that you have some definitely some analysis can be done by some of the asanas. Say for example, try to do kapalvati as much as possible till you have a backache, and you will find that number, you note it down. Note down that okay, after 270 I have a backache. Take rest, and this 270 is your capacity of your backbone, okay, or your muscles. You will find this particular type of thing you should do, or try to have a pranayam. And pranayam also, you will find that you may have first perspiration, lot of perspiration, a lot of sweat, and after that you will find that there is a backache. And this backache, after doing a pranayam, especially with sakumbhak pranayam, you will find that there is a huge backache and you have to stop there. This particular capacity is what is give you the strength, that okay, you have this much of strength, you should not go beyond that. Similarly, if you do a Nauli Kriya, or if you do the kind of Udyan, or you do Agnisar, and you will find that particularly after particular number, say 30 or 35 or maybe 60, up to that, during this number you will find a kind of ache at your backbone. And as a result of it, you should note down this number, that this is where my capacity is. Everybody has a different capacity, everybody has a different kind of strength in their body and flexibility. For flexibility, do not go for checking it like with chakrasan or with Vrishchikasana. Okay, do not try that any asana for checking the strength of our backbone. All right. Okay, so let's see the reasons, and afterwards we'll go for the question answer session also. Let's see the reasons. First of all, the first reason which I have found that most of the people they have for backache is the particularly the posture, and that in that posture first is how is your sleeping position. That is the first reason. If you have challenges in sleeping, your position is not correct, definitely in the morning there will be backache. And then these kind of backache you can very well easily get rid of by doing all the asanas what you have learned. I'll also enumerate them towards the end of this particular session. So first thing is posture, and then second is that posture you are actually sleeping or you are sitting. If I'm sitting in this chair and if my posture is not correct or I have not moved myself for a long time, then there will be definitely backache. It can be at the lumbar position, it can be at the thoracic position, depending on your posture. Another thing is that if you are lifting heavy object, you will find that so much this nucleus pulpus or the 7 layers of disc, they get disturbed, they get pressed, or sometimes they also get slip, and we what slip out. This disc slip out is what is known as slip disc, or what you can say that it is protruding out, it is herniating, and then it causes a pain. So doctor will say you that see don't actually bend forward, or they will say don't bend backward, depending on whether you have spondylosis or whether you have particularly the cervical spondylosis. So depending on that, doctor will advise you, because that particular herniating disc is at that side and it will cause more and more pains. So sometimes the reason can be arthritis, which is autoimmune disease. So cartilage which is there inside this particular disc, the cartilage itself will get degenerated because of the antibodies which are formed against the antibodies of the body itself. So it is known as autoimmune disease. So arthritis kind of thing is there, then that is to be taken care very immensely. As such, there are no remedies as such. You will find most of the sites, most of the books, they find that nowadays they have incorporated first thing is physical remedy, not even operation, not even physical remedy and painkillers. So even arthritis, you will find that physical remedy it works well. Then coming to that, if because of any of the immune, whether it is an immune system problem or it is a kind of osteoporosis or kind of a posture, ultimately it leads to pain, and this pain is basically a response of the body, and generally doctor prescribes you the painkiller, this non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agent, or sometimes the heavy painkillers, higher level painkillers, or then lastly there is no way that in medicine that unless they give us directly the steroid itself, which will also reduce the pain, which will also reduce kind of hunger. You will feel very good by steroid, and as a result of it, but it decreases or suppresses your immune system, which is known to everybody. So you will find that see very small care which is to be taken, it leads to a disease, it leads to an emergency, and it leads to ultimately that our backbone is in trouble. So it is better to prevent it than to take a remedy over it. It is found that most of the operations which occur at the backbone, they get challenges afterwards, sometimes earlier, sometimes later. Some of them they also get better, but the chances, even doctors say that the chances of getting better are really challenging, and this is at the level of discretion still. So apart from that, the reason is like fibromyalgia. For example, fibrio is fiber, and myalgia is actually the pains in the nervous system, and ultimately pains in the muscles also. So sometimes there is a abnormality which occurs, and that causes this fibromyalgia kind of thing. or the reason can be even a simple wrong sandals, or wrong level of the sandals, or width of the sandals, or they are tilted, or we don't know that. And that's why it is very important that whenever you purchase any shoe or any sandals, better to wear it for a long time, because for some days, for some months, they will they will take the shape as per your body, and after that they will become comfortable to you. So it is always that you better take sandals, and don't go for the colors of the sandals or colors of the shoes. Better to go for the better sandals and keep them long lasting. And you also have a choice of nowadays, the choice of memory foam. You can use your memory foam in your shoes, so that you may have a less and less jerk at your backbone. Of course it depends, like if you are a teenager, definitely you should give more and more jerks, so that it will have more and more better and better strong postures, strong muscles, strong nerves. But when your aging is there, at that point of time you have to save yourself more and more. So it's a reverse phenomena you have to use always. When there is a disease, you have to be more careful. When there is no disease, you can definitely take a liberty of making our backbone stronger and stronger. As a rule, sitting for 32 minutes, 30 minutes, you should wake up, you should stand, and you should move here and there, and lots of different kind of posture you should do. Otherwise it itself is a degenerating principle for getting a pain in back. So so that is another reason, the posture for long time sitting. Long time sitting also, there is one more thing, that is also in stress. If you are in stress, you will find that your vertebral column will have a particular position in in your posture. It will have a particular position and it will not move, because even your breathing is also not normal. Your breathing is stopped, your breathing is not deep, and as a result of it, you will find that there will be a pituitary adrenergic axis which will be stimulated, and then you will have kind of anxiety and stress, and also corresponding depression, and that also causes impact on your backbone. So stress is another thing which causes a backache. This is not ruled out, and here you will find that you have a backache, but you won't come to know that this is because of the stress and not because of any yogasan or anything. So stress also can causes backache. Okay, another reason can be like you have bad digestion, and as a result of it, the gases are forming inside, and it is applying a pressure inside the gut, and this applying a pressure inside the gut also correspondingly apply the pressure inside the viscera, and ultimately it reaches out to such an extent that even the nerves in the backbone, they causes challenges, and the challenges to them, and that is why the backache can be there. So even gases can cause backache, right? Another one is aging, is a aging process, or say osteoporosis process, which can cause definitely backache. And this aging is also responsible for degeneration of disc, degeneration of the vertebral cushioning, and that causes backache. One challenge which generally everybody understand, that ankylosing spondylitis. So it's a litis is actually what you can say, itis is an inflammation, and osis is a condition, right? So here it is a form of arthritis that primarily affects the ligaments and joints of spine, specifically the lower back of it. And as disease progresses, it lead to stoop posture, and then there is a challenges in your backbone. So there are diseases. Ultimately, all these diseases will lead to backache. So spondylolisthesis. What is that? Is a forward sleep of vertebra, or one vertebra. Like the vertebrae, they will get sleep, and in the vertebral column, and usually occurs in the lumbar region. That's the back lumbar region, lower portion of the backbone. And these particularly may cause because of the defective bone one, or that sometimes a trauma or stress, or sometimes even the infection. I have seen a case where the person has a typhoid, or person has a TB, and that causes challenges in the backbone itself. So that also can occur. And sometimes it also occurs in athletes. So over abrasion of particularly the disc can cause it, or sciatica, as we have seen in the picture, that there is a damage to the sciatic nerves, and which result into a problem in sciatica. Or it can be because of the herniated disc which pressing against the nerve root, and that can cause a spinal stenosis, and the or even arthritis, that also cause a pinched nerve, and as a result of it the problem occurs, and there will be a complete pain in the sciatic nerve itself. So that also can be reason. See, the allopathic approach to this particularly backbone is very simple. They first give the painkiller. If painkiller is not there, they are not worked out, then definitely they'll go for some kind of steroid. Okay, as when the medicines are over, then they will go for surgery. And surgery is very simple. It's a example, for example, consider the surgery known as laminectomy. So laminectomy is what, there is a portion lamina in the vertebra of particularly the processes of vertebra, and this lamina is protruded. They will just cut that lamina. Okay, if the disc is coming out, then discectomy. So they will cut that disc. It's a very simple approach. Okay, but this approach, basically it is a pathy. Okay, so this pathy is used for particular diseases. Now we are using it for the backache, and that may has its own effect, that may has its own effect, right? So it is up to a particular individual decision and discussion over it, that whether we should go for that one or not. So the simple approaches that also causes afterwards the after effects, but those after effects, before that we have to save a particular patient or health aspirant. So there are like approaches, for example, what they say it as a root blocking, or the transformational epidural steroid block. What they do, that actually the nerve, you will find that if the nerve is blocked, then their sensations are blocked. As a result of it, sensations are blocked, you will feel good, because the nerve pains will not be there. So they say it as a steroidal blocking, right? Steroidal blocking. So the blocking of particular portion of the vertebra, okay, that can also give you a relief. You will get the relief, but at the same time it will not be the pains will not be actually go off from inside. That will be there definitely, but it is a blocking principle. So it is a modern science which has used that one, say epidural steroidal block, or kind of what you can say nerve root block. Most of the operations, you will find that in the operations there are nerves which get cut. There are neuronal innervations which get cut. What is known as neurotomy. Okay, neurotomy itself causes the painlessness, because there are no nerves, there is no sensation, there is no pain. Okay, so as a result of it, patient, they think that yes, I'm okay now, right? Because there is no pain. But that is not the truth. The truth is very different, that because of what they have cut the extra part, and that will be settled over the period of time, and then there won't be any pain. But initial, that pain is not there. First few days is maybe because of the anesthesia, and afterwards because of the neurotomy. But over the period of time, when the patient actually gets completely revived, after that, when the patient comes to a normal day-to-day activities, and then there will be no pain, at that point of time you can see that the patient is now okay, rectified. properly get rejuvenated. But again, natural system of body will be disturbed in that. System gets its own shape, size, connection, connective tissue, development, everything over the period of time. But again, that is not the natural way of getting cured or preventing it, right? So there are diseases which are connected to our lumbar region, and the generally the line of therapy is physical therapy. Then there can be a even artificial disc replacement, or there can be a procedure of spinal fusion, or what I say is laminoplasty or laminotomy, or there are like discectomy, extra disc can be cut, or the steroidal blocks, or selective nerve block. That can be the approach for lumbar kind of diseases. So you'll find that apart from the painkillers, they give even the narcotics sometimes, like codeine gives, or they give even morphine because the pain is very high. And sometimes they give the muscle relaxants. So there are muscle relaxants even including diazepam or methocarbamol. These are the normal muscle relaxants which are given. And you will find that there are cautions to be taken along with this medicine also. So what should be our approach? Let's go for what should be our approach. First thing is that whenever we have a back pain, we should understand whether our back pain aggravates with backward bending or forward bending. That is the first thing we should determine. If you go to doctor and you will find that they will say, okay, don't bend forward, okay, all forward bending asanas you should stop. And if you want to do it very slowly till you get the first pinch of your pain. The extent will increase slowly, and you will find you will get rid of all those pains very slowly. But do not force yourself. If forward bending is prohibited, don't go for padahastasana immediately. Okay, go for simple hands movement forward, and then afterwards you will find that you can do this hands movement further better and better. Okay, so remember that some of the challenges in backbone, they are just because of weight. That just because of weight, the weight of your tummy, the weight on your thighs, the weight on your whole body, and that causes this particular backbone challenges. Okay, so first thing always to reduce the weight without any crash diet. That is very important. If you go for crash diet and try to reduce the weight, you will also lose muscles, and it causes challenges. So never go for any crash diet, never go for any abnormal diet. We have a very systematic way in yoga to reduce the weight, to increase your muscles. Okay, very systematic way is given. You will find, you will get it in the other sessions what we have conducted. And Gyan and Shubhangi ji and Priyanka ji, Manjunath, Phanindra has taken lots and lots of sessions on it. And these we should go ahead with a very simple reducing our sugar, reducing our extra amount of food, and keeping a dhauti in place, right, Shudhi kriya in place, and we can then go for reducing a weight. Reducing weight is the one of the best remedy for those people who have backache and having high weight. Another caution which should be taken is slow and steady movements. First of all, no jerks, slow and steady movements. Even if you would like to do any yoga, do with your own pace, right? Don't compare yourself with others. Don't do that with somebody else pace. Right? Another thing is don't jump. Okay, so it is mostly those people who have prohibited forward or backward bending. The lateral bending is the one of the best for for your yogic asana. Say for example, trikonasana is a lateral bending, right? So trikonasana can be done, and trikonasana can be a way of reducing your back pains. One principle I will tell you in yogic sciences as well as in any pathy. Consider why generally painkiller is given. Because when the person has been given painkiller, the moment of that portion occurs. As a result of it, there will be blood flow. When blood flow is there, natural nutrients to that portion will be high. Natural nutrients will be supplied, and as a result of it, the natural nutrients, they will cure the body itself. So the painkiller won't work as a painkiller, but at the same time actually it facilitates the moments of it, and as a result of it there is more blood flow. Similar is the case when you apply a hot bag to a aching portion, or when you apply a kind of what you can say ice or low temperature pack to your backbone. At the same time, you will find that this low temperature or high temperature, when there is a difference of temperature from the normal temperature of the body and that is applied to the backbone, you will find that there is a movement of that portion occurs, or there is a blood flow increase in that portion. What inflammation also does, inflammation also actually does increase the blood, try to increase the blood flow there, and if the blood flow increases, the rectification is very easy. That is the principle which is used. So you can also use this principle in your yogic sciences. Try to have very slow movements of hands wherever you have challenges, and that portion you can rectify with the slow movements, right? So you can have a healing hot pack there, or a cold pack there. Another thing, that whenever you have a back problems, at that point of time, do not refrain yourself from getting extra proteins. Okay, so you can have say for example sprouts, you can have soya bean, or you can have what you can say the mushrooms, broccoli, and all sorts of natural proteinous source. Okay, I won't recommend it to go for the some artificial proteins, because that may help you in a short period of time, but it at the in long period definitely it won't help much, considering the digestive absorption, assimilation of it. Okay, there are remedies like which are given in Ayurveda. Some of the key remedies, for example, abhyanga, or what you can say warm oil massage. It's another remedy where you can use oil and very slow massage of the backbone. Very easy, very slow. The strokes should be very slow, and you can also have a backbone massage only if doctor permits, because there are conditions which will get aggravated. So for example, if the disc is there which is protruding at the back, and you are doing massage of that with the portion that the disc is again protruded in the back, that won't suffice, that will cause a problem, right? So you have to definitely, before any massage, you have to take permission of doctor that if I do this massage, will it be okay? And you yourself can find out that whenever you apply the strokes of massage, at that point of time you will find that if it is aching heavily or sharply, don't go for that massage. Generally there are two to three different strokes which are done in massage. So for example, from top of the vertebral column to the bottom of the vertebral column. Second, from the vertebral column to outwards. Okay, by using the cushion of this particularly the venous mount. Okay, or the thumb, top of the thumb, you can do this way. Okay, that is one way. And after that, you can also have just beside the backbone the massage with both the thumb top, right? Or you can have the venous mount very slowly. Remember that these particular massages are to be done with the oil of say for example sesame or almond. Okay, you can also use mustard oil. All those oil which produces heat or which gives you a kind of heat in your body, those can be used for particularly for abhyanga or lower back. Remember, lower back, whenever you are doing a lumbar massage, at that point of time, be careful about it, because lumbar portion is again a very weak portion, and you cannot have a liberty of applying pressure there. There is a procedure known as Svedana. Okay. Svedana is actually a steam made up of herbal, and which can be used for sweating out. So when there is a sweat out, it is said that the toxins will come out, Svedan. and these toxins will come out and will give you cleaning and also will give you back pain relief. So Svedana is also one technique of getting rid of backbone. So another, apart from that, there is a Kati Vasti. Kati Vasti is like the herbal medicated oil at a lukewarm temperature will be kept over the, say, lumbosacral area of for a certain period of time, and this is known as Kati Basti. So Kati Basti, that Kati is kamar or lumbar portion, and Basti, so these can be used for reducing your pain. And of course, for Vasti is also used. Vasti is actually definitely to take out the toxins from our body, specifically the lower portion of our alimentary canal. That also is used. Nowadays, there is a technique which is very, very much coming up, and that is a Pichu. So Pichu technique is a thick layer of cotton cloth is band around the affected area, and cotton will be, that cotton cloth will be soaked in a warm medicated oil, and it can be replaced frequently or it can be pressed very slowly, and that can also be used. See, apart from that, home remedies, you can see that a camphor when mixed with the coconut oil, and if you boil for just 5 minutes, you'll find that the mixture which is there, camphor is actually kind of what you can say, anti-inflammatory agent. Similarly, you can add ginger in it, okay, and it can be applied to the backbone very slowly. Lukewarm or warm water or hot water, when it is added with the eucalyptus oil, okay. So eucalyptus oil has a multi-purpose usage of it. So some drops of eucalyptus oil, if you put in warm water, and that water you can actually press it over the backbone, that can be a good remedy. A pinch of turmeric or few drops of honey and a glass of milk, that also can be pressed over the backbone very slowly, okay. That also give you, and it can be mixed with the ginger also. So that can also be one of the remedy for backache. Another remedy is like they have come up with now the rice remedy. What is that? Rice, that the what you can say, that warm or the cooked rice, it can be along with the ginger, it can be pressed over the backbone, and these kind of therapies, they are coming up very well. So these are the some of the therapies what I can say that nowadays in Ayurveda as well as in alternative medicine, they are coming up very fast. Okay, let's come to the asanas, right? So as we have seen that with asana, you get a kind of particular kind of portion of your backbone is moved, or it slowly it gives a jerk, or a very small jerk which is sustainable jerk, or it gives a bend, or it gives a kind of stretch, and this asana will give you definitely prevention of your backache. See, asana is a technique, or what you can say, a preventive therapy. It is not a kind of responsive therapy or responding therapy. So for asana, you should actually continuously do some asanas for over the period of year. You should have, suppose 50 asana which are there for better backbone health. You should do every day 10 asana out of it, and you repeat them. Say 10 one day, 10 another day. Okay, don't do 50 one day and then 7 day you are not doing anything. Don't do that. 10 first day, next 10 next day. So your consistency is very important than accuracy. I had a question from one of the health aspirant that in Setu Bandhasan, can I raise my legs? If I am not raising my legs or the foot, then is it wrong? Is it right? So my question to that person, what you like, what is your liking, okay. Say if I don't raise leg, then there is a challenge in my lumbar, the lumbar vertebra gets stretched, and I said, okay, you do the way in which you like, right? So there is no point, because it is said in by some teacher that okay, you should not raise your foot or the portion of the leg, right? You should keep them touching to the ground. But if you raise that particularly the back portion of your foot, then it becomes easy, right? So slowly you can then rest it on the ground. So you will find that if you are resting it on the ground, and if your middle portion or the trunk you are raising up, you will have a lot of pain. But that is not the first or foremost to be done first day or 10th day. Over the period of time you will come to know I can get the better effect with this, particularly keeping my foot on the ground. But that cannot be first day. So that's why it is said in asana yatha shakti nirantaram. It should be consistent. The accuracy will follow it. Accuracy is basically it's a result of function of consistency. Once you are consistent, you yourself will finding n number of ways to perform many effective way of yoga, right? So some of the asana, for example, Markatasana, you will find it's a very good asana whereby using the cross legging. For example, we will take a supine asana. So in case of Markatasana, your legs are crossed, and as a result of it, you are holding the toe of another leg with the opposite hand, and you'll find that there's a twist in your vertebral column. So Markatasana is very very important. So considering the supine asana, the relaxing asana like Makarasana or crocodile pose, which is very important. But again, those people who have back bending prohibited, they should not do that, right? As a customary, if it is not said anywhere, okay, it is not even sometimes taught also. This is what you will recognize over the period of time. You should do advasan. If you are very sensitive, your backbone is very sensitive, you should do advasan. What is advasan? After every asana, after every backbone asana, what is advasan? Like what you do the tadasan. Okay, same tadasan, you should lie down and do the tadasan. Okay, keeping your tummy touching to the floor, okay, facing the floor. You should do tadasan right there, and you will find immense relaxation in the backbone, immense relaxation. Similarly, Jatara Parivartanasana, you will find folding your legs and then folding them on the other side, both the sides, you will find immense kind of relaxation. So Jatara Parivartanasana, right? Of course, needless to say that this session is not for any pregnant woman or a person having a surgery, right? Otherwise, it's a disaster. Please keep this in mind. So some of the poses like Shalabhasan or locust pose, this pose is very very much meant only for the backbone strengthening. So in case of Shalabhasan or locust pose, you'll find there's an immense pressure develop at the lumbar portion of it, right? So your lumbar portion to strengthen it, Shalabhasan is the way. So Shalabhasan with one leg, Shalabhasan with two leg, both the legs, okay, those can be done. Similarly, Bhujangasana. So upper portion of your vertebral column can be strengthened with Bhujangasana, and you will find Bhujangasana again to be effective when you actually facing the sky, you have to breathe in, and when you go down, you have to breathe out. So Bhujangasana. Similarly, Dhanurasana. So Dhanurasana, you will find Dhanurasana Sanchalanasana or cradling in Dhanurasana. That also gives you a very good health of your backbone. But remember that in case of Dhanurasana, I have seen people, they'll get lot of the muscle cramps, and be careful about it. So before Dhanurasana, you should always do some different asana. Needless to say that we should do asanas only after our Sukshma Yoga. So Sukshma Yoga is always first to be done. Similarly, Marjarasana or cat pose, both the cat pose, up and down cat pose, they can be very good for backbone. Naukasana is there, which can be done particularly for the backbone. So Naukasana, Then Parvatasana, the opposite of it. So you will find some of the asanas they are back bending asana, and some of the asana they are actually forward bending asana. So similarly you can also use the plank pose. So plank pose is that you want to create your backbone extra strong, then planks can be used, but don't use this plank first day. When you will get your backbone strength on, you want strong, and you want that this backbone should be more stronger and stronger, then you can use planks, correct? So asanas which are facing the sky, for example cycling, very simple cycling can be done. So cycling, or say cycling with one leg, cycling with both the legs, cycling with opposite direction, cycling with both the legs, moving in a clockwise direction, moving in an anti-clockwise direction, and this gives you a huge strength at your backbone, as also it reduces the tummy, right? So Utthit Padasana, holding your legs 30 degree, Utthit Padasana, it will give you very good strength of your tummy as well as your backbone. Similarly, Setu Bandhasana or Setu Bandhasana or breach pose, what we can say. In case of Setu Bandhasana or breach pose, you are actually protruding your tummy up and keeping your both the legs on the ground, and you'll find the whole weight should be on your shoulder. So the Setu Bandhasana is managed, is carved out in such a way that your trunk, complete backbone and trunk health should be good. So Setu Bandhasana. And similarly, the Pavan Muktasana, you will find Pavan Muktasana with one leg, Pavan Muktasana with two legs. Okay, those can be done. Now Pavan Muktasana, if you try to touch your chin to your knees, you will find that the gases will be out definitely through anal passage, and you will find that the whole pressure is on tummy and also backbone. Pavan Muktasana, while doing Pavan Muktasana, very important that you should have very good cushion below your pat, because if you do Pavan Muktasana with Sanchalanasana, means you are cradling it this way, you will find that your backbone is actually getting massaged in Pavan Muktasana, Sanchalanasana, you will find, and this cradling will give you extra help. But remember that whenever you do Pavan Muktasana, Sanchalanasana, if you have even a small a kind of protrusion somewhere, or if you have something below your mat, then you have a challenge. So be sure nothing is there below mat. Sometimes people have mobile, sometimes people have some token or the cap of some pain, and that causes a lot of problem. So Pavan Muktasana, Sanchalanasana should be done very carefully. Pavan Muktasana, Sanchalanasana vertically as well as laterally, that is another way. So lateral Sanchalanasana should not be done with jerks, it should be done very slowly, keeping your chin touching to the knee. This should be done, right, and very slowly. This is very important, and you will find that once you do this, your backbone will be stronger and stronger. Similarly, Viparit Karni with one leg. Viparit Karni means raise your leg to 90 degree and raise both the legs 90 degree, and then after that you will find that the Sarvangasana, so raise the leg to top, and but again no jerks. If you are doing Sarvangasana, you should reach to that position, you are doing it very well without any challenges. And further, Halasana, if you are doing Halasana and if you are doing comfortably, your backbone is a 16 years old person backbone, right? Halasana, if you are doing Halasana, and if you are doing Halasana, after that you are doing the Padma Sarvangasana. Like Padma Sarvangasana, if you want to do more and more vigorous and you want to make your backbone as healthy as possible, then Padma Sarvangasana, where Padmasana in Sarvangasana, correct? And then you can also have Pankhasana, like flipping up the Padmasana, down up, and this is the ultimate, that your backbone is like like a 13 years old guy. So that is known as Pankhasan, correct? So these are the some of the asana. Apart from that, in Vajrasan you can also have Shalamba Vajrasan. But when you do Shalamba Vajrasan or Ushtrasan, at that point of time, be careful that you are doing this after when you have almost a year or two of yoga or yogasan. Every day you are doing it, keeping Shuddhi kriya. Otherwise, Shalamba Vajrasan, if you do it once and you could not handle your backbone, it will be broken. Very simple. So be with some yoga teacher, be with the cushions at your back, and then only you can try Shalamba Vajrasan, right? So similarly, if you go for sitting asana, so sitting asana you can start it with the very simple Gomukhasan, holding your hands and then keeping your both the legs crossing each other, or you can have Gomukhasan Sanchalanasana, moving little bit left and right, or you can have Chakki Chalanasan, where you hold your hands and you are doing actually the old age Chakki or mill like movements. And if you want to give twist to your body, then the best one is, and twist is very much important. So not only strengthen your backbone, but to twist your backbone, which gives you a kind of relief in the whole backbone, and that is, for example, Ardha Machindrasan. So Ardha Machindrasan as well as Purna Machindrasan, you will find Vakrasan or kind of what you can say, the Vashishtasan, Ardha Vashishtasan. All these asanas, you'll find that will give a kind of twist to your backbone, and that is very important. Twist is very important. So similarly, Tolasan will give you strength, or the strength, or Baddha Konasan, which will actually give freeness of your lower portion. And if you see the asanas which are which can give you good health with a standing position, the best is Trayak Tadasan. So Trayak Tadasan, where you are doing Tadasan and you are twisting yourself. So Trayak Tadasan is one of the Shankha Prakshalana Asan, which can be done for betterment of your lateral bending. Okay, lateral bending and your lateral portion of your vertebral column. So similarly, the twisting asan is Saman Hasta Kati Vakrasan. So it's a very simple. You have to just take your both the hands at the side and then twist yourself without twisting your legs, right? So Saman Hasta Kati Vakrasan without twisting your neck also. You have to twist your trunk, right? And then standing asana or Trikonasana is definitely, or Parshvakonasana, and the better asana, which is of course people who don't have to bend at the back side, they cannot do it, that is Ardha Chakrasana, correct? So and the best asana which is said that which is also responsible for better digestion, better backbone, is a Padahastasana, which is the second phase in sun salutation. You will find that in sun salutation, many of the asanas, they are responsible for actually stimulating your backbone, right? Ashwa Sanchalanasana is one of them. Though in case of Ashwa Sanchalanasana, your concentration is at the Ajna Chakra, but you will find your 30-degree angle of your backbone is maintained in Ashwa Sanchalanasana. So even whole sun salutation is very important in case of keeping your backbone health good and well, right? As a customary to keep your health better and better for specifically backbone, see, try to avoid the pungent or old food, chili food, okay? Try to reduce the content of any heavy combination of low glycemic index, high glycemic index carb and fat, okay, because that also causes then challenges. Try to keep your backbone always warm condition. If you keep your backbone warm condition, definitely the backbone health is better and better. Okay, so and apart from that, what I can say that mm, there are there are some oils which I can tell you about this one. Just a minute, I'll have to log in. I have logged off here.
Raghavendra, could you please repeat the food to be avoided? I have it fats, high glycemic index.
Glycemic
What is
index.
pungent? Glycemic.
Yeah. So pungent or old food. Pungent is a high smelly food. Okay. Pungent smell so those food or old food we should avoid it, right? And a combination of fat and fat as well as the sugar or high glycemic index food, right? Those should be avoided. And chili or too much of masala, they should be avoided. Okay, those are not good for our backbone basically. So you will find that people who have stress, they either eat lot of very high sugary food, or they eat lot of chili. Okay, you'll find this particularly this thing. So either they are bulky or they are thin, but ultimately it affects the backbone. Okay, coming to some of the key oils which are very important for the backbone. So for example, first is mustard oil. Okay, second olive oil, right? So clove oil, right? Clove oil is also good for your teeth, but also good for your backbone. There is a oil known as ashwagandha oil or camphor oil, right? So these are good oils. Apart from that, there are Ayurvedic tel like neem oil or Mahanarayan tel, or even garlic oil, right? These oils, or even camphor oil, these oils are very good for treatment of backache, right? These are all over the period of time you should have the massage of this particular oil on your backbone. So see, backbone as a customary, it's a gift from our parents. Okay, so my request is try to handle it as like a gold, even better than a gold or diamond. Correct. Once backbone is gone, everything is gone, right? Everything is gone. Correct. So this is the very precious part of our life. Very very precious part of our body. So that's it. That's it. What I helped in last 1 hour. Okay. So I tried to cover as much as possible, but I know every portion is very much to be searched and to be researched in that. Okay. So this is a very small description of what should we do for betterment of our backbone, right? Now, if you have any question, please let us know. Yeah.
Can we eat tamarind?
Okay. Yeah. So this is a very
I'm 68 years.
correct. See, now again, this is a very important question. Can I eat tamarind? Now let's see the effects of tamarind, right? If you are eating a tamarind, it's definitely contain a tartaric acid, which is acid, right? Now it has definitely a portion of acid forming one, even a vat forming one, as it is a kind of kapha. Kapha is related to a sore one, correct? So cough can be increased because of tamarind. Now if the person is say bulky or kapha pradhan and eat tamarind, it will aggravate, right? But if the person is say consider that is a pitta pradhan and eating a tamarind may reduce depending on the portion of it. So there is no formula. Can I eat this? You can eat this definitely in moderate quantity. You will find that the actual effect of tamarind you will come to know when you eat something very plain and tamarind. You will come to know if your pain is aggravating, don't you eat it.
Early morning, I will mucus in mouth and nose.
Sorry, come again.
Go outside, it will come down. Mucus from nose and mouth.
Correct. So what is that mean actually is that early morning your cholinergic system is very active, which increases the secretion. It's a kind of what you can say a kapha pradhan. Okay, so the such person should put cotton balls in ear. Okay, should not eat any sour tamarind, or should not eat dahi or curd, should not eat any very thick liquids or any dairy products. Okay, so dairy and bakery products they should be away from, and you will find very easily you can get rid of this particularly early morning sneezing or a mucus is there. So because the person is, so such person generally try to sleep more and more, they are refraining themselves from activities, they are trying that okay no I should be relaxed in life, but again the destiny will not allow them to relax. Correct, that will happen. So of course the very important is the Ayurvedic analysis of this is very important. There are n number of parameters on which this will be kept on the decision to be made.
Take this with haldi and
You can
pepper.
you can take haldi, definitely.
At night time.
Yeah. So don't take haldi and milk. You should be away from dairy products.
Okay, I'll go ahead. I was writing down the asanas, and there's like Sarvangasana, Ushtrasana, which we should do when after a year or so when we master other asanas, right? That time you have mentioned that something regarding after Shudhi kriya. That part I missed.
Yeah.
So should we do
So
Shudhi kriya only for
see,
these two asanas, or what the relevance?
see. For example, there are three portions of it. One is that Sarvangasana. When you do, your legs are erect towards the sky, and your whole weight is on the shoulder. Okay, that is very important. So when you do that, you have to give your support to the hips or to the trunk by your hands. Now your backbone should be strong enough to hold the 80% weight of your body. Correct. If you do it next day, okay, so you have to do first Utthit Padasana, then keep doing Viparit Karni, then you have to slowly try to do Ardha Halasana, and you will find over the period of time you can lift your legs up. Okay, so my suggestion here is that never go for any asana with jerks, which because okay Sheila is doing, Meena should do, not like that. Try to do it whenever you feel that no I can do up to this much level I can do, and then relax. So that's why I said that is first thing. Second thing, if you do Shuddhi Kriya, okay, Dauti Basti Tatha Neti Naulikam Tratakam Tatha Kapalavatischa Etani Shatkarmani Samacharya. The 6 Kriya which are told, we should do at least partially. When it is a winter, you should do Neti. Okay. When it is a overfood eating, you should do Dhauti. Right? Whenever it is you feel that there is a huge fat is there deposited on your tummy, you should do Nauli. Correct. And if you feel that no my digestion is not proper, I have gases, you should do Basti. So Basti, Neti, Nauli, Tratak, when you feel that no I don't have a proper concentration, I don't keep myself very comfortable, at that point of time you should do actually tratak every day, sometimes to be done tratak. So Shuddhi Kriya is a base of yoga. Even starting a yoga, before starting a yoga, after yam and niyam, Shuddhi Kriya actually appears. Shuddhi Kriya is a base. So if you don't do Shuddhi Kriya and you try to do say halasan, you have huge, definitely you will have a huge portion. The lowermost portion will be very big. It has a lot of fat, and you are trying to do halasan. It may lead to sometimes a kind of herniatic protrusion of your intestine. There may be ache at the side, and then you'll find that no, yoga is bad. So most of the people they do that. Yoga is bad, as you know. I tried to do it long back, and I cannot do it now. No. So it is a yatha shakti nirantaram. That is a second portion of it. So of course it is found that many people they do Shuddhi Kriya simultaneously with the yogasana, and over the period of time they pick up. And I can understand that Shuddhi Kriya to be done specifically for this one, for Nauli, Shuddhi Kriya like Nauli. It's not so easy, right? So those are to be practiced over the period of time. And this practice over the period of time, you'll find that Satu Dirghakali Nairantaryam means for Dirghakal, for long time, but consistently, Nairantaryam, it should be done. And then you can do for asanas. Many times people they do consistently for long period of time. You will find that these people they can do many different asana very easily, even if they don't perform it for years together. Okay, so that is what then, because you will connect yourself to proper craving, proper postures, proper attitude, okay, and then proper spiritual awakening. So it is a combination of body, soul, and your mind. So that kind of thing happens. Sorry, I am not able to hear you. Can you come again, please?
Okay, am I audible now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, you had mentioned that we can do 10 asanas today, 10 tomorrow, something, right?
Yeah.
So can we choose only 10 asanas and do for whole 1 month? Will that give the same benefit?
No,
There are so many asanas, right?
Okay. See, the best way is that when you do asana, this is the very positive circle of life. When you do asana, you get into it in such a way that you yourself will find one day that okay, I am doing sarvangasana from many days. I should go for purna halasana. Okay, and definitely you will find that if you do more and more rules applied to it, more and more stringentness applied to it, then probably you will have a lot of challenges. So don't apply any rule to this. Okay, try to apply your mind in a way that it is being done for you. For example, you do asana for say 10 asana for 1 month. Okay, naturally in 1 month you will get a good hold on 10 asana. So particular type of muscles will be made flexible in this asana. But if you try to go, say for example, if you are doing every day say halasan, but that does not mean after 1 month if you do if you do trikonasana, you will able to touch your hand to the feet. No. So how to do that mix and match of that asana is very important. Very, very important. You have to mix them. Yeah, right? You have to mix them. So try to do 10 asana for 5 days. Okay, then 10 asana. And you will find that if you do every day these asana, those muscles, if you overdo them, muscles will have ache. Okay, they also need to be rejuvenated. Right? And that's why different asanas are to be done every day. Rather, I recommend different things to be done every day. Correct? One day there should be a swimming, one day there should be jogging, one day there should be asana, one day there should be a kind of running, or one day there should be a pranayam. Okay, there is definitely a standard way of doing it. Those are there, like we should start with prarthana, then we should go for sukshma yoga, and we should do asanas, then we should do pranayam, then again uh, shavasana, and then prarthana, and then finish. So that is the standard way. But of course we can do mix and match of it.
Because I have sleep disc. Can I do trikonasana?
I think it is it is recommended in case of sleep disc, but where that particular disc is sleeping, that is very important. Okay.
L3, L4.
So L3, L4, but which portion of it, which side of it? If it is going laterally, then there will be a problem. That is, sorry,
Left side.
left side. So
Left side.
left side. See, if it is slipped on the left side, and if you do trikonasana on the left side, you will have a pain,
Oh.
right? So
I did try. After that, I did try that method.
yeah, so better because left side also there are again 3 sides of the left, correct? So in such cases, better to go to doctor and ask this question that, see, I have this X-ray, this you see this X-ray, and tell me whether I should do this Vikonasana on. So doctor will recommend you definitely, mostly they will recommend you can do it on right side, and don't do it on left side mostly. But again, that depends which nerve is giving you pain, okay, how this herniated disc is working currently, whether it is herniated or not. Many people I have seen that if it is herniated on the front or back portion, they recommend trikonasana and slowly that disc appears well normal. But that is not case with the everybody, okay. So that's why in case of yoga, if you do it with yatha shakti, if I say no, you don't have to do trikonasana, and many times you do household work, out of which there are many works which are ardha trikonasana itself, right? When you take out a cup from your particularly rack, it's almost it is a bending of one side, correct? So this particularly to be kept in mind, that when we do asana, we should do asana to the extent where our body permits. Our body permits without pain. Without pain.
I am doing. No pain to me.
Yeah.
Markatasana, 3 portions.
Very good. Then it's very good.
I am doing no pain for me.
Very good. So it means that it is getting, of course, if you are not taking any painkiller and you are doing Markatasana, then it is a very good thing that you are getting better and better. If you are taking painkiller and you are doing Markatasana, then it's a problem.
No, I am not taking.
Then it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. So it is towards the rejuvenation, right? Correct. It's towards the rejuvenation. So slowly you can try different asana, but be slow. Okay, be slow, be steady, and be the sleeping posture or shavasana or advaitasana, that should be done in between.
Okay. I had few questions in the chat box. Can I go ahead?
Sure.
Okay. Proteins, right? We discussed on proteins, and I don't know where I read this, but even for vitamin D3, they said that no use in taking it just like that. We have to have something in our body so that proteins will get dissolved. So is that why we are lack of protein, because we don't have that, something like that? I really don't remember, but
see, this something can be 2000 different compounds. Okay, so we know only 5 compounds or 3 compounds. Or rather, we don't know body completely. Okay, if you go through the textbook of biochemistry by weight, okay, we by weight, or if you go the very traditional textbook, they have some very few 200 pathways detected. 200 is a very small portion of it. There are more than 5000 pathways which are working in our body, correct? So out of which 200 are known, and these pathways, only 200 are known. These pathways, they are not every day, every minute. They can be in emergency, they can be with insertion of particular metabolite or biochemical compound. They can be with the generation of fear, generation of depression, generation of your emotions. Every pathway is different. There, see, this whole body is composed of stereochemical compounds, and these stereochemical compounds, which has a chiral carbon atom inside them, there are hundreds of chiral carbon atom inside the protein. So we are going to the stereochemistry, I'm sorry for that, but these have a specific reaction. Same compound will behave differently in little bit acidic condition or basic condition, or little bit depression. So much specific exercise, so much specific reactions are there that we cannot predict. We can only say that it is very important that if we are in sunlight and if we take D3, we have healthy body, good metabolism, good assimilation, absorption, then we have healthy backbone. Because you can imagine that in autoimmune diseases, our immunity itself is a foe for us. Correct? So disease is originated in ourselves. Right? Furthermore, this is a one level of complication I am telling you. I am going to the next level of complication, which is very difficult to imbibe by normal brain. We are not one person. It is a combination of viruses, bacteria, fungus, okay, at present also, everywhere, and human cells. Okay, so these bacteria, viruses and human cells, they form a person. It's not only person, it's a collection of all those, and this technique is well now accepted by everybody in the medical sciences. Now, how these bacteria, viruses behaves and what they also oozes out, they also absorb. Depending on that, our health remains. Now it's a further complicated thing. If I eat bacteria of curd, Lactobacillus delbrueckii, I become healthy in sun. I become healthy in summer. Okay. So if I eat bacteria, I am healthy. But if I eat staphylococcus, then my pharynx gone, right? It is infected. But if I eat dead staphylococcus, that's good. So it's not like the direct relationship is always dangerous. This is a very, very important thing. Direct relationship. People who get affected by the immunity booster storm, cytochrome 450 storm in COVID, there are much more death than the COVID itself. Right? So it is our body which killed, because our body at that point of time thought that no, it is better to have the cytochrome 450 because the number of viruses are very heavy. Right? So you cannot say that particularly this portion is missing. There are more than, if you see the D3 metabolism itself, okay, so it's a huge chain. The only one chain we know, right? Only one chain we know. If we know the whole pathway of it, probably that pathway itself is not established. So some of the established portion are mostly there in plants. The biochemistry is well established in plants. Correct? How we come to know? Very simple. That like plants have the chrome or the chlorophyll. Okay. The human has hemoglobin. Same structure. Right? Same structure. And we are dependent on actually chlorophyll, actually kind of that. So we are dependent on hemoglobin. But if we don't dependent on plants, still we can have. So we have that power also. If we don't go live on plants, we can live on non-veg, right? If we don't dependent on non-veg, our pathways also they get properly manipulated in such a way that we can definitely live on plants. So our biochemistry is evolutionary biochemistry. Okay, evolutionary biochemistry. So evolutionary biochemistry is that there are a number of pathways which get generated in our body, but we don't know them. So we cannot stipulate that way that okay, no, D3 is not there. Some people also have found out, oh, there is a vitamin M where there is a vitamin P, like that. So point is that biochemistry is still a question to very high extent, even after such a deep research. Otherwise, Oshumi, who got the Nobel Prize in autophagy, he got a Nobel Prize now, whereas the Ekadashi and Chaturthi are from 5000 years. The biochemical pathway itself is not established, that autophagy or killing of the dead cells or the cancerous cells by fasting. This biochemistry itself was not established. But Chaturthi is there not today. Chaturthi is there from thousands of years.
Ages.
Right? Ages. So biochemistry is not established. Right? So that's it that we need for with the D3. Definitely we need sunlight, we need metabolism, good yoga, good assimilation, good digestion, and then only that can affect. So that is true actually, it can affect with the n number of different things.
All my questions, like almost, and just one thing. We had that when you showed that chart of death in the middle portion, you said that is the cause. Because of that or any nerve pressure, you can get pain. So I get pain like from right shoulder to right back. Maybe because of sitting portion, or I usually have accident. All my two-wheeler accidents are on right side, and it has been killing me now. I'm not able to do just this portion at back also. Anything on that? Is it because of back that this or anywhere it is paining, which I can do any massage and just stop it forever?
Yeah. See, generally you will find when people they are driving their four-wheeler or two-wheelers, not cycle, two-wheelers or four-wheeler. Generally we have a pain on one side because their center of gravity is slightly tilted, and that slightly tilted center of gravity you have to manage that during your riding, and as a result of it, when you do heavy, nowadays it is almost at the center nowadays, but generally it is tilted, and this to manage this itself require a kind of muscle pull over the period of time. But on the contrary, if you ride a bicycle, you will never have this problem, correct? Because in bicycle your moments are such that you have to manage your gravity both the sides, and bicycle gravity is on at the center because there is no engine in bicycle, right? So it is said that people who got a problem by two-wheeler or four-wheeler, this problem can be rectified with bicycle. Very simple remedy but very effective. Second portion, the right portion is generally this is known as dvandva in case of yoga. Dvandva is what you have because of certain excess factor. You have a challenge on the other side, right? So you have a challenge on the right side. Some people may have a challenge on the left side. So because dvandva, so you are particularly one portion is stronger, one portion is not stronger. The dvandva that appeared. Dvandva can be a sharirik, it can be manasik also. So this dvandva is sharirik. So if you try to do asanas by both the sides, don't do asanas by one side only. Both all the asanas which we have mentioned, both the sides, the dvandva will wipe off. Definitely. The dvandva will wipe off. So don't focus yourself on right side or don't focus yourself on left side, because our body has a capacity to manage the bilateral symmetry not only in case of posture but also in case of muscles, also in case of providing the food to the body, nutrition to the body, balancing of muscles, okay, balancing of strength. See, even if you do lot of yoga on just right side, you'll find your left side will also be proportionately getting stronger. That is because we have a bilateral symmetry and a mechanism to keep that bilateral symmetry to a high extent in a balanced way. Okay, so do not focus on your right side, focus on both the sides. But as a precaution, you should focus that particularly when if there is a right side pain, don't do do exertion on that particular side. Okay.
Anything particular asana you can recommend from the list you have given, and how many times I need to do
So
it?
where you have pain, actually at the neck or at the
Exactly middle portion of the back.
Okay. So for that purpose, what you do, try to do these two asana majorly, middle portion. One is Gomukhasan, one is Garudasan. Right?
How many times I need to do?
See, generally these asana, if you do it 5 times, it's okay for every day. You will get the effect in hardly 30-40 days.
So once 5 times or 5 times a day?
No, once 5 times.
And one go 5 times.
One go 5 times.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
It was like a nightmare to me for this. And I was feeling bad because I was not able to do Surya Namaskara. And that is something I don't want in my life. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Most welcome, most welcome. I think you are on mute.
Oh, so
Annapurna.
sorry. I also say thank you very much because,
Thank you.
oh, I think I'm done, right? You heard me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Asvasanchalana is best for back pain, you said. Nobody said that.
See, the Ashwasanchalana, see, nobody said that because that was not in the course. Okay. The back pain, type of back pain you have, for example, if you have a back pain with say backward bending, okay, in Ashwasanchalana you are doing forward bending, correct? So, and also if you have sciatica, it may pain you, Ashwasanchalana, but at the same time you have a portion of your backbone which is aching, so the upper portion or the side portion, then Ashwasanchalana can definitely do good wonders. At the same time, if you want to prevent the backache, Ashwasanchalana is one of the asana. Rather, whole Surya Namaskara is also a good asana. Also, it is particular perception. See, every teacher is different in yoga. Okay, every teacher is different. Whatever I will say probably may be contradicted by somebody unless and until it is very basic basic problem or basic, I'm contradicting the basic. The portion or the approach of yoga is definitely conceptually it is given by Patanjali, by Hatha Yoga Ratnavali or Swami Swatmaram. Okay, so contradictions will be there definitely. One has to take up from those contradictions and confusions which is useful for us. Correct. There are some basic principles in yoga. According to that we have to go. So I don't have anything to say to anybody why the person has not said or what am I saying. Correct. You get the experience of it and then you can also say about it. Correct. So Annapurna, you are on mute.
Can I do it? Every was witness.
You should not do it.
Can I?
You should not do it. Right? see, you have to reduce your weight, okay, and then you have to go to doctor. First you reduce your weight, okay. So uh, if I do analysis, probably I don't do generally personal analysis at the social forum, okay. But if I start doing your analysis, probably it is not a principle that fixed to my principle, okay. But you should reduce your weight, rejuvenate yourself, reduce your sugar content, the high glycemic index sugar you are taking, and then you should go rejuvenate yourself, and then you should go for the difficult asana, right?
Then
Yeah.
Thank you, Raghavji. It was a wonderful session
Thank you so
with,
much.
a total insight on the structure, what to do, what not to do, what to eat, what not to eat, which asanas to be done. And in fact, yes, definitely many people would be thinking that we haven't covered these. What are these asanas? Don't worry, but if you continue the journey, you have started your journey with this 21 days program. So continue your journey. It's very important to continue your journey.
Absolutely.
Nairantarya. It is very important to continue your journey. So continue your journey. And thank you everyone. Today being the last day of
Thank you.
our therapy program. Thank you everyone for joining. So to continue this journey, from tomorrow itself you can start joining our daily yoga sessions at 6:30 a.m. IST. I'll share the links, and do share your experiences as well as your feedback on the email tcs.yoga@tcs.com. If anyone wants to share anything, please let me know, or else we can end this session.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Raghavji.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.